Hello there and welcome once again. It is democracy in action. In everything we do, there has to be democracy, whether it is the traditional institution, religious institution, politics, even in families, there is democracy. The Father does not load it all on everyone. No, some people will have to question some issues. And therefore, we've deemed it fit to discuss religious issues. Are they being destroyed with politics, or religion is destroying politics? But in all of that, there has to be a converging point of convergence, where religion, politics, the economy should all converge to ensure that Nigeria is better for it. My name is Ben Shaman, your regular host of this program, and you are on to Third Eye Africa TV. We are at the Central Business District here in Abuja, and we have a clergyman, and he is the chairman of Christian Association of Nigeria, all the 19 northern states in Nigeria, including Abuja. That makes it 20. A big task for him in this time when everything is being challenged in Nigeria. He is a believer on this interfaith religious dialogue. And of course, he has been doing some good works under what they call One Family Under God. Let me welcome Reverend Joseph Hayap.
Thank you for having me, and good morning, our viewers. It's good to meet you here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now, let's start from Nigeria today. At the point you see as if we're reaching the rock, at the point we stabilize, at the point is, religion is not helping us. No, religion is dividing us. What's the role of religion in Nigeria today? Is it dividing or, bringing cohesion?
Right from the onset, religion have played a vital role in Nigerian development. You cannot think of Nigerian development without understanding the role religion play in her educational development, in her economic development, in her social development, in her many other development, health-wise. Religion have played a great role in the development of Nigeria. So the positivity we get from religion is far outweighs the negative. But unfortunately, at this hour, sometimes you hear the negative is being amplified more than the positive. But proudly, I can say religion has helped greatly in making this nation what it is. For viewers who do not know, the first institution in Nigeria that ever awarded degree was a religious institution. The institution called Nigerian Baptist Theological Seminary in Ogbomoso was the first institution before even University of Ibadan. So it is important for us to credit those who have helped us. And then great men in Nigeria have passed through schools that are religious schools. The fact of it is that when schools started, or education started, the education that really makes impact were established by missionaries. And that's why, like in the Baptist Academy in Abeokuta, it's a school where Obasanjo attended, Abiola attended, Bolaji Akemi, and you can so many great Nigerians. So you can go on and on and on and on and talk about how religion has impacted positively in the development of Nigeria. Like every other human institution, you have the bad eggs, you have the bad guys, you have people who do things, and you ask yourself whether they came through school or school went through them. Anyone that you want to decide depend on how you know them. So whether it's really Christian religion, whether it's Islamic religion, whatever religion have actually played, even our traditional religion plays a great role in our development. Because when traditional religion was the order of the day, the kind of discipline that exists among people is not as bad as what we're saying today, because there are things you will never do. You will never even dare do it because, the fate of your community will catch up with you, or the deity of your community will catch up with you. You will not steal somebody's yam. You will not carry anybody's property. You will not take somebody's wife. You will not lie. Remember that when our court systems started, one of the practice then was that if you go to court and give a testimony, and they will ask you to take an oath. So even the judicial system have to now take advantage of the religious system of that time to decide who is guilty and who is honest. And so religion has played a vital role. So we must look deep and look at those important roles religious play, those positive things that came out of it. And then we can also fast forward and look, okay, have there been abuse of religion in our time? Why is there abuse? And what can we do to go back to the basis, considering the advancement that we have at the moment?
Yes. In fact, you've just taken words from my mouth. The Gen Z, what do you call this generation, whereby somebody, yes, you have the Android phone, you can therefore just take on an elder. It does not matter what religion, does not matter what creed. I mean, that respect is no longer there. At the point too, you also see very big people in society, influencers, stakeholders. By the time they begin to unleash some, do I call them? Let me call them satanic messages. They tend to be so divisive, or they divide the people. How do people like the religious like you take that? You're talking of interfaith dialogue. How do you handle this?
Yeah, honestly speaking, the generation you call Gen Z is also another positive thing God has done for humanity. Technology have come to take humanity to a higher level, and God is at work bringing these things to pass. The young generation that we classify them as Gen Z, and their quest for knowledge, their desire for their voice to be heard, their desire for their rights to be protected, are not completely bad. It probably have to do with how do we understand what they are saying, and how have they been trained on how to say what they are saying. And so if you ask me, I would tell you that religiously, the development is positive. One, those years when, for those of us who are Christians, when Moses was called by God to come and collect what today we call the Bible or the Ten Commandments, it was given to Moses on a stone. If today anybody gives you the stone, you won't want to carry it. And then from stone we went to scroll or papyrus, and then today we have a book. And today some of these Gen Zs can read the Bible on their phone. They go on. So there are positive things associated with what they do. What probably we have not really looked deep is to understand the age, and to understand the new idea, and to understand the new spirit, and to understand the zeal of these young men, wanting to be heard, wanting to be known, wanting to be seen, wanting to make an impact. They are no longer side lookers. They want to be in the system. Unfortunately, we don't get them involved. And so since we don't get them involved and they have the knowledge, they get the Android, as we are using, as another way to engage. If you cannot listen to them verbally, you read them on the Android. But if we find a way of listening to them, drawing them closer to us, working with them, the fact about it is that what they put on Android is what they know. If you tell them something positive that is better than what they put on Android, that's what they are going to do. That's what they are going to put. So if you are Christian, why don't you teach your young people how to take advantage of the Gen Z technology and propagate love, propagate respect, propagate honor, propagate appreciation, propagate forgiveness, propagate those things that makes them real human, those values that are universal in nature, because the value of love has no religious boundary. The value of forgiveness has no religious boundary. The value of respect has no tribal or religious boundary. The value of empathy, sympathy for fellow human beings have no religious boundary. Remember, for those of us who are Christian, the Bible tells us the story of the Good Samaritan, the man who became the Good Samaritan and helped wasn't even a religious person. So, but you see, there is a value that are universal values, universal principle that everybody will carry. If they are young Muslims, teach them the value of love, the value of tolerance, the value of forgiveness, or the value of caring, because those things are enshrined in all the religious books. And like I said, even the traditional worshippers, they have values that are universal and it's applicable everywhere. You don't just kill somebody's son. You don't just cause another family pains. You don't steal their farm product. You don't carry their chicken or animal and run away with it. You know what it means. So when we teach these values to our children, which actually is a responsibility of parents, a responsibility of the home. But unfortunately, some of these things are not really done. This eroding of values came as a result of parents abandoning their responsibility and thinking that the teacher is supposed to teach his son 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 10, and also teach his son how to greet, and also teach his son how to be respectful. No, there are roles parents supposed to do. So how do we just harness these positive things and help these young people to see it as something good for them? But the more they are absent, they will have to get something to do. I use this scripture to a Bible story to explain what it is. The Bible says that if a demon is cast out of a man, the demon will go. If the demon comes back, he will check if the heart is empty, not occupied. The demon will not even enter. The demon will go and bring back 7 powerful demons and then make the situation of the man now worse than when he was cast out. So most time when we start bringing up our children and have guide them into avoiding evil, then once they have accepted to begin a good life, we abandon them and their heart is empty and they're living in a world that the demons is rolling. The Bible says the devil is rolling like a lion looking for who to devour. So when the devil comes around and find the heart of your child, the heart of your daughter, the heart of those young Gen Z is empty, the devil will not even enter. He will go and bring 7 more demons. And so the situation. So I am a positive person when it comes to this. And that's why I work with these young people believing that, see, the bad thing we overemphasize about them could be de-emphasized and emphasize the good thing. There are things our children know how to do. There are things our children can do. But as a government, we've not really listened to them. As parents, we've not really listened to them. As their friends, we've not really listened to them. As a community, we've not really listened to them. So the devil is taking advantage of the absence of that good thing we're supposed to deposit and is depositing evil. So all you need to do is to come back, look inward, and begin to deposit those good values, those respect, those obedience, those things that makes life sweet. And those children will grab it. Don't come and tell them things that ordinarily they can contest it and know you are not honest. Tell them things that they can touch it, they can feel it, they can enjoy it, they will also desire it, and they will embrace it and take it up and push it further. So Gen Z, I'm not saying doing evil is good because doing evil is bad. I'm saying that you have something good in you. The reason why today's people are thinking you are doing bad is because that good thing has really not been pushed and you've not been helped to see how you can promote that good thing. So if you're listening to me, begin to promote those good things, begin to exhibit those good things. What are those good things you see from your mother? The way she loves her siblings, the way she talks to you about her other brothers who are not with her. And sometimes you say, Mommy, what is your business with? No. In the world, we are interconnected. Whether we are male or females, whether we are different tribes, we are different religions, human beings are human beings. They are interconnected. We have something that connects us. Nobody should tell you to disconnect with people because without people, there's no life. What makes life sweet is others. When we talk about coat of many colors, it's just telling you that the beauty of life is you are Asheri or Amham, and the other one is Fulani, the other one is Boju, the other one is Hausa, the other one is Ibibio, the other one is Ikulu, the other one is Yoruba, the other one is Igbo. That's what makes us beautiful. The nations of the earth that are wonderful today, that all our leaders want to go there, are beautiful because of the many colors. So we can have many colors here and be beautiful. We can have many colors here and be strong. We can have many colors here and make it sweet. See, even the food your mother used to give you to eat and enjoy, that food was not an exclusive rice. So many other things were added to that food before it becomes sweet. So the many things you see around are the things that make this world beautiful. So enjoy them, celebrate them, support them, be open to learn from them. That's what the world is made of. Don't be too narrow to only your tribe, to only your religion. Whoever tells you that others do not matter, they matter. At Global Peace, where I work, we teach that human beings are one family under God. And if we want to even look at it from the point of faith, from our religious belief as Christians, the Bible says when God created the world, he first created Adam and Eve. And Islam have also taught that, according to the glorious Quran, that the first man God created is Adam and Eve. Look, even according to the Jewish holy book, the first man God created is Adam and Eve. Whatever may be the coincidence of these stories, there is a connect that human beings agree that we all came from the same ancestral origin. So we become one. When you see people killing one another, even animals don't do that too. I tell you, if a chicken is passing or a hen is passing and see you catching one, it will start crying. If a dog sees you want to beat another dog, he will start barking. Yeah. So if animals know how to protect and protest against harm done to anyone that looks like them, think about us. So we appreciate the gifting of your time, the technology of your generation, the electronics you hold in your hands. It's something for positive use, not for negative use. It's like knife. You don't cut. Knife is meant to cut animals or to cut something. But you can use knife for negative something. Because you use knife for negativity do not mean that knife was meant for negative. Knife still is meant for cutting something, for doing something good. Those who use it for negative, you see, they have a problem. So they need someone to guide them to understand that knife was made for positive. Look, like the cars we drive. We drive cars here and you enter a car within 2 hours, you are in Kaduna. Because if you have to trek from here in Kaduna, it's going to be dozens of hours. And you are going to be tired. But now, within 2 hours, you've driven from here to Kaduna to make it fast. But do you know that with the same car, some people used to steal? But it does not mean that car was meant for them to steal. Car wasn't meant for them to kill somebody with it. Car was meant to help in our mobility. So look at the positivity of everything you see around you. The phone in your hand is made for positive things. But of course, some people use it for negative things. Okay, let's outshine the negative thing with positive things. If they are posting nude pictures, we post beautiful pictures. If they are posting something that is evil, we post what is love. If they are posting something that will cause division, we post something that will unite. If they are posting whatever you think is not right, can we post something that will bring others to you? The only problem we have is the world seems to love hearing bad news. We can be advocate of good news to change it from bad news.
Yes. Not easy giving the man of the pulpit the microphone. And I can see the passion in which you speak about the younger generation. However, one is worried as to some of the older generation, some preachers, some clerics. You now see, now that politics is coming, they just say, look, don't vote for someone who is not of your faith. And these are people, I mean, they stand in front of the cameras. They preach division, hatred to the younger ones. I mean, you belong to the interfaith.
See, when you see a preacher telling you to vote someone for a particular identity, you will know that he is short-sighted or do not understand. What we preach is fairness. Because sometimes people mix this information. When we call for fairness, that if this group have led, let's allow another group to also bring, because there's no group that has monopoly of good people. Neither is one group have monopoly of one qualified people. Every group in Nigeria can produce qualified people. Give them opportunity. Let's not manipulate and want it to be we without thinking others are. But when we have such understanding and we do it right, we don't talk about the religions of the man or the tribe of the man. I don't know. If you've ever been to the airport to fly and you want to travel and you arrive at the airport and there's an aircraft standing waiting to take off to where you are going, and they say, sorry, this aircraft is here, but the pilot is not feeling fine, and so the pilot cannot fly you. But we have an imam here. Oh no, we have a pastor here who will fly. He's not a pilot, he's just a pastor. You will never board that flight because it's not his job. He doesn't know how to operate aircraft. Or an imam. An imam is not a pilot. He doesn't know how to operate aircraft. But if there is a pilot, you will not care what's the name of the pilot. You will not care what's the religion of the pilot. You will not care the identity of the pilot. He is pilot by training. He is pilot by profession. If your car breaks down and you want to look for a mechanic, you don't say, please, can you give me a Muslim mechanic here? You will say, can you give me a mechanic who knows how to repair Mercedes? It's a mechanic that knows how to repair Mercedes you are looking for. Not a Muslim, not a Christian, not a Hausa, not an Igbo, not a Yoruba man. That's the same thing with leadership. Until and unless as Nigerians, we give leadership to people who can really drive the car, who can really repair the car, who can really fly with the aircraft, who have problem. We keep on in sentiment giving people to fly us while they are not pilots. That's why we keep crashing. We keep giving people to repair our car when they are not mechanics. That's why our car keeps spoiling. We keep people to drive us when they are not drivers. That's why we go and have an accident and die. So time have come in Nigeria that we should give a driver. We are not interested in his tribe. We are interested he is a driver. We are not interested in his tribe. We are interested he is a pilot. We are not interested in his tribe or religion. We are interested he is a mechanic because he knows the job. He knows the job. Until we do that in Nigeria, we'll keep having problems. I think, and I join others to say, some in our political class, because not all, because they have nothing to offer, have chose to be selling themselves through using religion, using tribal or regional identity. And unfortunately, there is nothing they can offer than just playing the sentiment. And you know the diversion here? When they come and use religion or use regional identity, when they go to steal, there's no religion, no identity. It's just stealing. Who can steal the biggest money? Who becomes rich? And they steal and travel together and go and sit down and chop. And they allow us here fighting among ourselves, disturbing ourselves. So I encourage the young generation and all of us that we've had enough of this divisive politics. We want a true pilot to take Nigeria to the next place. We want a good and a true mechanic who will repair the Nigeria that we think is faulty. We are not looking for his religion or tribe. He knows he's a mechanic because Nigeria needs repair. Nigeria needs to fly to the next stage. We need people who are experts, and only experts will do it, not their tribe. Let's look this way again. When you are looking for help, you don't look for help from people who are your tribe. You look for help for those who can provide help for you. If you're about to be drawn in a sea, and suddenly someone appeared, and you are screaming, and he ran and said, "Oh, can you give me a hand? Let me bring you out of this sea." Will you say, "No, wait, tell me what's your tribe? What's your religion? Or what's your name?" You will just give your hand to be saved first. It is when you are saved, then you will appreciate it and say, "Sorry, I don't know your name." So sometimes people don't understand how this world works. They are trying to help us see people as our enemy when the other person that is being seen as your enemy is never your enemy. He has no even one bad thought against you. So I appeal to all of us that we work to make Nigeria what Nigeria should be. We stand to ensure that Nigeria have the leadership they want. We work together to be fair and just to one another because all our religious teaching focuses on being honest, being faithful, being just to your fellow human being, not to your tribe, not to your religion, not to the people from your region, but to every human being. That's why in Global Peace, where I work, we used to say we are one family under God. Treat people the way you want to be treated, and treat people as your sibling, treat the older ones as your senior, treat the parents as your parents, and life will move on sweet for all of us.
So let's go to Kaduna State. You come from Kaduna State. I'm also from Kaduna State.
Beautiful.
And when democracy came, 1999, I mean, we started seeing all sorts of crises here and there. And even before then, you could hear of Kaduna Mafia. If you wanted to cause problem in Nigeria, it would start from Kaduna. Oh, Kaduna Mafia on ground, you know. Now, all of that have come to pass. Then suddenly, we saw that democracy came. The right to do this and that. Some people even took their rights, I mean, to insult others. Kaduna at the point was upside down. You were part of the advisors that time, and we could see that there was a lull. The crisis, beauty pageant crisis came and passed, Sharia crisis came and passed, and you were neck deep into some of these things. How did Kaduna manage this crisis that time?
Truly speaking, I'm proud and I'm happy to come from Kaduna State. To me, Kaduna State, like any other cosmopolitan city, will say Kaduna is a mini Nigeria. In Kaduna, you have virtually everything. And apart from that, since the independence, Kaduna seems to have enjoyed the presence of government. One, the Nigerian Defense Academy is in Kaduna State. The Armed Forces Command and Staff College is in Kaduna State. The Nigerian Army Depot is in Kaduna State. And then we have a university. And then we have other institutions. We have many of things to be proud of. And it was an accommodative place where everybody desired to come. Let me put it this way. Those years, because I did some laborer work with NYC, people will even be seeking to be posted to Kaduna State to come and serve as coppers. And they will say, "Mina Kaduna, I want to go." Because Kaduna was a fantastic Kaduna. So everybody wanted to go to Kaduna. So Kaduna was sweet. Nobody molest any other person. If you go to some part of Kaduna, you will assume you are in Igala land. If you go to some part of Kaduna, you will assume you are in Idoma land. If you go to some part of Kaduna, you will assume you are in Yoruba land. If you go to some part of Kaduna, you assume you are in Yoruba land. If you go to Kaduna, you will assume you are in Calabar or Akwa Ibom. And you can go on. See, there are parts of Kaduna that you think you are actually in Mangu or you are in Birom land. But you are in Kaduna. And then you can, in Kaduna, you find Sokoto. That's why in Kaduna today, you can have someone who is from Yobe, from Jiga, is serving in Kaduna. So Kaduna was accommodative. And when they started giving, let me say, a slogan for states, Kaduna was called liberal state. Because it was for everybody. Unfortunately, abuse came. People misunderstood the liberal nature of Kaduna and started abusing. People started instigating people against each other, hiding either under tribalism or regionalism or religion. But religion seems to be prominent. And why was religion prominent in Kaduna? Because Kaduna became the capital of Northern Region. And when Kaduna was capital of Northern Region, so virtually all Northerners who matters, from Adamawa then, which involves Taraba, to Borno, to Yobe, to Gombe, to Bauchi, to Kano, Katsina, to Zamfara, Sokoto, Kebbi, Niger, Kogi, Kwara, all converge in Kaduna. If you go to a particular part in Kaduna, you will see the houses of the different traditional rulers of these key people, Lamido of Adamawa, the Emir of Ilorin, the Emir of Zozo, the Sultanate, and so many. So Kaduna had never been a problem. But some people started instigating and causing division. And it turns out to be, instead of people working together as friends, people started fighting one another. People like Daniel Omokachi grew up in Kaduna and became the famous footballer of Nigeria. But from his name, you will know he's not a Kaduna person. But he's a Kaduna boy.
And the Babayaros.
And Babayaros, and so, and many of those stars. So we are so happy that Kaduna was a home for everybody.
Including
my father,
Kaduna and Zegu.
My father said, okay, you're going to the military part. I just wanted to use footballers because my young Gen Z are familiar with football stars and they celebrate them. And sometimes they won't even know those stars where they come from. They grew up in Kaduna. They became stars in Kaduna. We didn't know they have a different state from Kaduna. We see them as one. So, and I can say up to today, there are this large, that understanding. But for politics or for some selfish reason, some people started planting and saying, oh, these people must not be. Oh, these people must not be. Oh, these people shouldn't be. And then they polarized the community and tension started coming. Then Miss World became a bigger platform. Well, there was a crisis in College of Education Kafacha in 1987, and then there was another crisis in Zangogata in 1992. Then the big one was the Miss World, there was the Sharia crisis, which actually didn't start from Kaduna, but Kaduna became where the gladiators find a space to show their might. And then the Miss World Beauty Pageant of November 2002. And when you look at that, the lady who wrote the article that provoked people to fight is not in Kaduna. Kaduna people don't know her. Nobody knows her. But she wrote the article probably just using her brain in her understanding. But because some people have find violence as a means, they provoke violence, burn places of worship, kill innocent people. But all this said and done, effort came up. In August 2002, seeing what happened during the Sharia crisis, we decided to work together as Muslims and Christians and sign what we call Kaduna Peace Declaration to begin to work together towards harmony. The then governor, wonderful man, Ahmed Mohamed Mokafi. Anytime I mention his name, I'm so proud that we've sat under a governor who understands. I used to remember his time, he would say to us, look, yes, I know that things have not been working well, but I'll do my best to bring it to near parity. And so many things he did to calm nerves, and people started understanding each other. We begin to work in communities to promote peace. We started engagement in a media house like this to help people see the need for tolerance, respect, love, forgiveness, and working together, wanting to restore. He set up so many committees, Committee of Segregation Prevention, because the city was segregated, and so on. Well, because of tenure of office, he ended in May 2007, and Nemadi came, the former vice president. And when Nemadi came on board, he built on what he had. I remember very well that it was when Nemadi came on board that we had one of the biggest peace colloquium we had in Kaduna, and more understanding was building up. Then he established what has just been changed recently, known as Operation Yaki. I remember Goodluck Jonathan was then Vice President to Yar'Adua. He was the one who came to officially commission Operation Yaki. And so it started stabilizing. So Kaduna from 2002 November enjoyed peace till 2011. For 9 years, we didn't have violence again. 2011 came as a result of politics or election result being announced, and some people feel it wasn't favorable to them and reacted. But we keep building. We keep building because peace work is not a job that you think you can just speak one day and it's over. Peace work is like food or like water. You keep drinking water. If you are 1 year old, you keep drinking water until the day you die. Peace work is what you keep preaching, you keep teaching until you leave. Because another group will come, they need to take that water. Another group will come, they need to take that water. So drinking water is everyday's activity of human being. Peace work is like that. So we keep building, keep building. Unfortunately, after 2011 violence, efforts were going, already Akua was governor, efforts was going towards reconciliation. And then by 2015, that effort stops and a new idea came. Well, they came with some idea wanting to do it differently, but I think the approach became a little bit hostile. The approach further led to bad killings and evil around the state. But I can say to you that efforts are now back because with the new government in Kaduna State, I must say this about Uba. I don't say it to get any favor from you, and to simply praise you, because when Uba came, he realized that there was a serious divide, tension, and he started engaging. Started correcting some of the wrongs. Things are not perfect, but truly we've stopped. That's why you hear the cry about killing has drastically reduced in Kaduna. Yeah, there are pockets of kidnapping going on. People are still being killed, but not at this scale it was happening before. Probably because of this new approach and then the cooperation from the federal government to ensure things work. And, it's not about just federal government and Uba. There's something about security. Security is not the job of army, police, and others. No, security is everybody's business. So the mechanic, the bicycle repairer, the motorcycle repairer, the car repairer, the farmer, the mesuya, the shoe shiner, everybody has a role to play. If you see, like the bicycle repairer in some villages, everybody that has a bicycle comes to him every day. So what he knows is more than what you think. But if you want to promote peace and you think, no, it's a common bicycle repairer, you won't get the peace. If you want to repair, it's a common shoe shiner, you won't get the peace, because what the shoe shiner knows, you who is sitting as IG or AIG or DIG or commissioner, you don't know it. But when you work with him, just give him that little listening ear, relevance, and he will tell you things that will happen. And that's where intelligent gatherings come in. And I don't know how training is done, but I want to encourage those who are responsible to tell their staffs that intelligent gatherings require you go low, you work with everybody, you listen to everybody, you even give prominence to the people that ordinarily they are not. In Nigeria, people think that official stakeholders are the powerful senators, the powerful commissioners, the powerful ministers. And I tell you, no. One of the reasons why we've not been able to solve our problem, there are important stakeholders in our community that we despise them. So they know things, but they won't say it. They are even seeing themselves as nobody. The role they will play is like in a house where you have different children. You have a son who seems to know every book. You have another son who talks a lot. You have another son or child who seems to be quiet and looks like mumu, mumu, mumu. You have another child who is so generous. As different as these characters I have described, all of them have their role. When an evil man walks into the house, the generous man will not understand. The bookman may not understand. The man who talks a lot may not understand. That quiet mumu, mumu person is the only one who can study and know Kai. This man is not honest. This man is not straightforward. The other ones can even be praising him, but that one you think is mumu. So every one of them have a role to play in helping you diffuse tension, in helping you recognize where evil is coming, in helping you stop evil before it comes. But you see, what we do is that we don't even care about people. We don't carry people along. So I think that's what Uba may be doing better by, please come, let me know, what is it? Can we do it this way? And gradually things are shaping. So we want him to sustain that and let's correct it. But Kaduna is changing. The mafia thing was a slogan because of the interest that is associated with Kaduna. But everybody in Kaduna is actually a mafia.
Okay.
So if you are from Kaduna, you are a mafia. Our listeners who are viewers who are in Kaduna, you are also a mafia, because in your corner, what you sit to do, what you sit to agree is different. But when we come together, we can now understand what you are thinking, what you want to be seen done, and we put it to practice. What I also see, what I want to see done, put it into practice. We do your own, we do my own, we put them together. Then we are beginning to change our state and make our state. So when we change states, as people used to say, that when Kaduna sneezes, the entire country catches cold. We don't even want that sneezes again. We want peace to be coming out of Kaduna, peace to be coming out of Abuja, peace to be coming out of Kano, peace to be coming out of Sokoto, peace to be coming out of Gombe, Maiduguri, Adamawa, Jos, Benue, Ibonyi, Calabar, Taraba, Kogi, everywhere, Port Harcourt. Let there be peace in our country. We can't develop in this confusion we are. Our young Gen Z, with all your technology, if there's no peace in this country, you can't make impact.
Yes. Let's see whether Uba will make impact soon after this break. Because my next question will be, now that things are calming down, we could see religion came into play the days of El Rufai, broad Muslim, the thing was tearing the state apart, you know. Will Uba say, okay, let me go with that pattern, Muslim, or let me have a mix, because every person, every life matters by way of ensuring that there is equity. We've been talking with the chairman of Christian Association of Nigeria, of the 19 northern states in Nigeria, including Abuja, and I'm talking of Reverend Joseph Hayap. And of course, he knows what he's talking about. And I am Ben Shaman. This is still Third Eye Africa TV, and the program is Democracy in Action. Let's take this break.
We're talking about South and the North. You talk about middle belt. Currently in Nigeria, we don't have middle belt. North Central is what we have.
Okay.
And they are included in the North. If the perception is because Nigeria is standing on a tripod, you have Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, they are the owners of Nigeria. That is a very wrong perception. These are major tribes in Nigeria. Simple.
Yeah.
Nigeria is owned by every single citizen of this country.
If you go to civilized nations, they possibly have, stratified their political parties such that those who play at the national level are there. And at the local level, you have other minor political parties playing there. And it gives sense of belonging to every citizen to be able to contest.
And in fact, once you have joined APC, all your sins are forgiven.
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay.
This is Third Eye Africa TV, exposing crime, savaging the nation.
Now, like I said before we went on break, now that there is peace, and very soon the whistle of a democratic program will be blown by INEC, so to speak. They release a timetable. I mean, how will it look like? Will Uba go Muslim, or he will play his own game, Muslim Christian? I mean, for the sake of equity. What are your personal feelings or thinking?
Well, I believe everybody in this country seems to have his eyes open now. When in 2023 we had the situation where there was a Muslim ticket, I know the kind of tension. But if you go to the communities now, ask them questions, people are beginning to see the implication of this one-sided thing. And so all leaders, including Uba, have a responsibility to shine their eyes, have a responsibility to gauge the tempo, the feelings of the moment, have a responsibility to ensure they do what will unite the people. There's a problem. The problem is that political opponents seems to hide under these little divisions. He doesn't like your faith. He's coming to see. What we really want in Nigeria is what will unite us. So I believe Uba and his team are studying. Uba and his team are understanding the handwriting. We are not in position to give him directives or to give him say it differently. We are only simply saying, if they say you are good, they are asking you to bath so that you will be good more. So because Uba have shown togetherness, inclusivity, we want him to prove that inclusivity beyond some of the things we've seen.
So when you say beyond,
is it about deputy governor? I think there are other responsibilities that are far, far, far better than deputy governor. Show me a governor who probably we do not have deputy governor, but we are the SSG of the state. We are the chief of staff of the state. We are in key of some of the ministry, because in Nigeria, whether you like it or not, people feel certain ministries have direct impact.
So is that a popular?
No. You see, I'm just speaking as a stakeholder, because since we want to see peace, we want to see togetherness, we are simply saying, as stakeholders, what is it, Uba and your team, you are seeing and you are feeling that if you do, you will further strengthen and consolidate on the gains. So if you understand that there are things that needs to be done to further consolidate on the gain, please go ahead and do it, because what makes governance sweet is togetherness. I earlier told our viewers the story of McCarthy. In 2000, from 1999 October, there was tension till February 2000, that the Sharia crisis came. After that, there was another crisis in May, that same 2000. Then Miss World Beauty Pageant crisis came in 2002. But when McCarthy understood the matter, he came up with activities and programs to unite the people. A good number of the chiefdoms today you are having came as a result of that decision. The establishment of Kaduna State University came as a result of that decision. Other agencies like the Bureau of Religious Affairs was established in 2000 because of the issue that raised up. And when McCarthy got to put those structures in place, when he won election in 2003 to go for second time, McCarthy became so active in rural and urban development, to the extent that in Kaduna he was called Limam in Raya Karkara, that is the prophet that developed the rural area. So that was what happened. So if you put things in place, the fact is that you have better time to develop everywhere. Because instead of sending money for security vote or security this, the security will be good hospital, the security will be good schools, the security will be people farming and earning a living, the security will be job opportunities.
Sorry to cut you short. Yeah, you see, the encomiums you are pouring on McCarthy, you see, he had this Christian-Muslim setup.
Yeah, so that's why we are saying, can you learn from what makes unity and togetherness? If it is replicated or reintroduced, it will help heal the state, it will help heal the land, it will help some of the good things we desire to see happen. Okay. When people come to those in power and instigate them to be divisive, and instigate them to side some group, and instigate them to show better favor to others, in governance, you are not helping that person. You are actually diminishing his popularity, and you are causing him more problem. Because once governance is based on equity and justice, naturally peace reigns.
Okay.
Naturally healing takes place.
Yes.
Naturally development comes.
We are running very fast.
So when you push people to do what is right and guide them to do what is right, then let them use without coercion, use their understanding of when the right thing is done, what happened? Progress. When the wrong thing is done, what happened? Retrogressive.
Yeah. Now, is there genocide in Nigeria against Christians?
Well, so much have been said about this genocide against Christians, whether genocide or no genocide. For me, as CAN leader, I have made statements severally. I've said it all depends on what you interpret as genocide, but I understand that if a people feel that they are being killed and they cry out, there's nothing wrong, look inward and correct it. And when you look at the pattern, the way things have been happening, I don't know what you define that. I'm not a Muslim, but in my study of Islam, in Quran chapter 5, verse 32, the glorious Quran says something very important. It says, if you kill for no just reason, you kill one man, it is like you've killed the entire humanity. So, if killing one man, according to the glorious Quran, shows that you've killed the entire humanity, if it is an unjust killing, imagine an unjust killing that affects 1,000, affects 2,000, affects 5,000, affects 10,000. What do you define it? I think let's do some rhetorical conversation here. What do you define it? So the debate is unnecessary. There is something going on wrong in our country. Some people hiding under some form of identity have killed fellow citizens because of their identity. And for us, we feel we are being killed because we are Christians. All we want to see is that government say, no, we will no longer tolerate this. Nobody should be killed in Nigeria because he's a Christian. Nobody should be killed in Nigeria because he belongs to a particular tribe. Nobody should be killed in Nigeria because he's a Muslim or whatever. And stop it. But all the debate just further waste time. Because when we don't nip this, the generation to come, it will be more terrible for them. So for us, we believe the killing had gone beyond what you call as genocide. But what do we want? We just simply call for attention, for justice, for fairness, for protection. And I'm happy that the government of Nigeria seems to have listened and heard that. That's why the initial running around deny is changing tune to let's collaborate and address this. Where exactly it is. If we have enough evidence, we deal with it, we tackle it. And we're happy that progress has started coming up. Let's focus on that. Nobody is accusing anybody. I'm not sure as a Christian, I have sit in any meeting to say Nigerian Muslim kill Christians. No, but there are people who are killing Christians, hiding under Islamic name. The Muslims must know that. Since they don't belong, the Muslims should join us to publicly denounce them, condemn them, and ask government to go after them.
Now, how in touch are you with Bishop Kuka of Sokoto Catholic Diocese?
I think I spent the most part of my day before yesterday night with him. He's a dear brother and friend. We've been together.
So what is on
even
perception?
When I just leave this hole now, I'm going to represent him at an event.
Okay, so what's his own perception of this?
Exactly what I've said is his perception. I think he has clearly defined what the newspapers were carrying was not Kuka's word. There's a refutal officially from Kuka Foundation.
What is Kuka
signed
stand?
by Kindo. See, Kuka cannot deny that Christians have not been killed. Kuka cannot deny that Christians have not been persecuted. Kuka cannot be denied. Kuka was simply saying, from our conversation with him, he's saying that, look, if we are being killed, what have we also done to help correct this? And I think the journalist chose to say they are not being killed. He simply said, let me use one example he said. He said when Esther was killed in Sokoto, where was the Christian solidarity? Let's assume there was a Christian solidarity and we came to Sokoto. In that solidarity, everybody will know that, oh, we value that life. Because if you are trying to define genocide, one person could be genocide, 10 million people could also not be genocide. But I think the journalist who chose to twist the story he said, even if 10 million people are killed, it's not genocide. But he's just citing an example. One person killing could be genocide. But even 10 million people could not be genocide, depending on the context. But the killing of Esther was a terrible killing. Was there solidarity? And there was no solidarity. So if he makes that example, but someone chose to write, he has refuted it, it's all over the media. So Kuka is not in any way saying, look, Kuka is even an advocate of ensuring that in every university of Nigeria, especially federal university, there must be a church. So Kuka knows that Christians have been persecuted and not given church, place to worship. So I think there's so much I even speaking to you now, there was a time I appeared in a meeting. I was called to a meeting and I went there graciously out of obedience and reverence. I didn't know that someone in that meeting went by the side and was filming me. And I started very good by saying that, look, if anybody denied that Christians are not being killed in Nigeria, he's not being honest. Someone was recording me here. I didn't know that someone by the side was recording me. If you see the two videos, you will see the difference. And I said, Christians have been killed, so let's acknowledge it, stop the denial, and correct it. But I would say this as a pastor, and I want to say it. I want to correct the use of figure. Because exactly within that period, there was a story that 500,000 people have been killed, 100,000 have been killed. I said, no, that figure is an exaggeration. He picked that. I say, even this year alone, the number is not up to that number. And I cite an example that the killing in Mangu was over 200. The killing in Bokos was almost that number. The killing in Yawata and Agatu and others. But you put together that is not 100,000 because of the kind of story. Just to correct that, he went and did a short video of 60 seconds for a speech I made for long. And in this 60 seconds, he even added photos of events I don't know that I did that. Those who got that, like every human being, you have enemies. They started spewing, you can see Hayap. Hayap said that Christians are just 200 that I killed. Nobody listened. What just saved me was that when I saw that video, I was asking myself, when did I say this? Then I remember someone was there and I called him. I said, brother, you were at this meeting the other night. I saw you were holding your phone. Did you record? He said, I have everywhere your record. Send it to me. Then I took my recorded, the one he gave me, which the video is directly in my phone and facing me, and I sent to the man. Then the game became over. He called me one night, we need to do, let's have a press statement jointly signed. Not that I misrepresented you. I was just trying to explain. I said, no, I'm not going to sign any document with you because already you've shown you are dishonest. But I've seen some of his words in Nigeria. People are celebrating, not knowing he has his own agenda. So if I have faced that, I should understand. When I saw the story, first thing I did was to send the story back to Kuka and ask him, did you say this? He called me later after his meeting. I said, Reverend, I've also been reading this story and I'm laughing here. And he said, where are you? I said, I'm in Abuja. He said, I'm in Abuja. So we met. We had conversation. I wasn't alone. I was there with people people like Dr. Zwagu and Joseph Atang, the country director of Kaisit. We had a conversation with him. And just we realized, look at the script. It's not even there. But you see, I think people want this word to be like, we are fighting against Muslim. I want to say this in your station, that we are not fighting against Muslim. We are simply saying that people have come and hide under Islamic name to cause Christians pains. Nigerian Muslims, good ones who love God, who want to show their faith, please join us to expose them, because they are enemies of our country, they are enemies of the state. When they kill one, they will come and kill you tomorrow.
Thank you. A very final one. Now, General Christopher Gwabin Musa has been called back again to serve. He's now going to be the Minister of Defense. Who is General Musa?
Before I say who is General Musa, let me just say this to our people and to the entire Nigerian youth. The Bible says that whatever your hands finds to do, do it with the whole of your mind, with the whole of your strength, with the whole of your wisdom. When you know how to do your job, you will be sought for. General Musa came as the Chief of Defense Staff and showed he knows how to do his job. He left and has been called back. So it is not about his faith, it is not about where he comes from. It is about, if you know how to do your job, your attention will be needed. Your services will be needed. So in every field, if you're a cameraman, do it right. People will be calling you, you will snap so many pictures. If you are a good graphic designer, do it well. People will be looking for you to design for them. If you are a cook well. People will be calling you wherever you are to do meal and things for their occasion. When you know how to do it. And I'm so proud that one of our sons, one of our leaders, have shown in Nigeria that he knows what he's doing. That's what General Christopher have done. And he has been called to add his wisdom, to add his knowledge into salvation the security situation. Those who were there were a lot of things people say, but at least we have an expert coming in now. Let's see how the team will galvanize and make something out of it. And you know something that I need to say, if it is anything to describe who is Musa, is the president himself have shown good spirit. Because this is one time for a very long time that we're going to have virtually the security protecting and representing different interests, if there's interest at all. At least we have an Igbo man as Chief of Air Staff. We have someone from Kano as the Chief of Naval Staff. We have someone from Kogi as the Chief of Army Staff. We have someone from the Southwest as the Chief of Defense Staff. We have someone from the Fulani Extraction as the National Security Advisor. We have another one from the Southwest as the DGSSS. We have also someone from the Northwest as a Muslim as the Minister of State for Defense. And we have someone also from the Northwest as a Christian Minister of Defense. So at least there is a composition that will build confidence, a composition that will win trust, a composition that is coming with wider experience. Even if there is weakness in one person, this composition is good enough to correct. So Christopher hails from Zangon Katab local government of Kaduna State, but I think that's not what makes him Chief of Defense Staff. Neither is what makes him a minister. What makes him minister is what General Musa can offer. A humble, a gentle, a godly man whose interest is the peace of Nigeria, the progress of Nigeria, the unity of Nigeria. For us in Southern Kaduna, we are proud that you have been called back, and we can assure you of our prayers. Just the way you didn't fail us when you were in Chief of Defense Staff, don't fail us as Minister of Defense. Go. It is Nigeria. Now your constituency is above us. Your constituency is Nigeria. If everywhere in Nigeria is peaceful, we will beat our chest and say our son contributed to making everywhere peaceful.
Thank you very much, Reverend Hayap.
Thank you.
Talking of Joseph, and he's the chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria, for the 19 northern states in Nigeria and Abuja. I want to thank you for coming to Third Eye Africa TV.
Thank you also, Third Eye African TV, for inviting me. It is a wonderful studio. I look forward to come again and again and again and again.
Thank you, and as you say, proudly Nigeria. You're welcome once again.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate this. A wonderful place and a wonderful discussion.
Thank you. My name is Ben Shama. Keep watching Third Eye Africa TV. And bye for now.